Featherweight Championship. Born and raised in Charlotte, undefeated in 18 professional fights. Bernard Taylor's first title opportunity against this man, Eusebio Pedroza of Panama, defending his WBA Featherweight Championship for the 15th time. Today on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Dramatic changes in the skyline of Charlotte, North Carolina in recent years, but to Bernard Taylor, the fancy new buildings do not matter. To him, this is home. Obviously, the man has changed some himself since the day he followed his older brother into a local gym weighing a scrawny 55 pounds, and the coach threw him out.
So he said, wait till next year. Not big enough. So I came back to the gym when I was 11 years old. I started training. I trained for a year or two before I got a fight. And from then on, I won my first 55 fight. And he said, hey, you're going to go somewhere in life. You can be a champ.
Bernard did become a champion many times in his remarkable amateur career, winning a number of national and international titles, perhaps the high point, this win in the 1980 Olympic trials. But it was a win tainted by frustration because of the U.S. boycott, which denied American athletes Olympic participation in 1980.
I was going to win the gold medal. I had beat the guy who won the gold medal in 80, and politics took it away, and we didn't come for anything. It definitely hurt, you know.
Shortly after the Olympic trials, Bernard redirected energies to a professional career, moved to Knoxville to work with manager Ace Miller, vowing to come back to Charlotte for the biggest fight of his career.
When he turned pro, I told him he'd fight for the title here, and so it's just something coming true that I prophesized to him, and he's dreamed about all of his life.
His schedule has been a grueling one in recent weeks, preparing for his first 15-round fight day after day, trained harder than ever before in his 15 years of boxing. Not much time for socializing, but he has taken time to meet with a very special group of fans, his family, 12 surviving brothers and sisters, and their family. But missing, Mom and Dad. Thomas Taylor, Emma Taylor. Emma Taylor was very ill when young Bernard left for the 1979 World Cup competition, which he won. But when he left her bedside, she gave him this inspiration, this motivation.
I know it's something you've been working for all your life and something I want you to have. And she said, I might not be here when you get back, but my prayer and my hope are with you. Winning for me, you know. At this time of the day, every time I go in the ring, I think about that, especially when something big comes.
Well, the day is here, and this is the target for Taylor. Eusebio Pedroza, who has been more active than any other featherweight champion in history, making his 15th title defense today in Taylor's hometown. Getting ready for this scheduled for 15 rounds at least, as Eusebio Pedroza defends against Bernard Taylor, WBA featherweight championship fight. Pedroza, for many years, fought in the shadow of another great Panamanian fighter, Roberto Duran, but now he has started to emerge from there. And the untimely death of Salvador Sanchez probably has made him the premier at this weight. He has been charged with using questionable tactics in the ring, but he's not the only featherweight ever to do that. Let's begin with this perspective. Back in the 1940s and 50s, Willie Pep and Sandy Sadler earned reputations as classic boxers. But their rivalry was marked by some less than classic rough and tumble tactics as well. Oftentimes, their bouts becoming brawls, with Sadler thumbing and Pep using his laces, Pep wrestling and Sadler kidney punching, and both of them wrestling oftentimes more than boxing. Sadler holding and hitting, and Pep retaliating, and some classic Pep footwork right there. Referees in the bouts between Pep and Sadler sometimes needed extra insurance to make sure they could get home sound. Since Eusebio Pedroza beat Cecilio Lastra to win the WBA featherweight championship 4 years ago, he has established himself firmly in this Pep-Sadler tradition. A masterful boxer, as he has demonstrated in defending his title successfully 14 times. But he has also become notorious for fouling tactics, most notably in his last defense against Juan Laporte, when he repeatedly fouled his opponent with low blows, kidney punches, rabbit punches, and punches after the bell. The ref warned Pedroza 16 times, but did not disqualify him, and Laporte's manager was outraged.
Well, I believe that Eusebio Pedroza and his managers flagrantly violated every rule in boxing.
Howie Albert protested to the World Boxing Association but was ignored, he says, because the WBA is a Panama-based organization which protects Pedroza, a Panamanian champion. After 6 months, Albert took Laporte's case to New Jersey, where the fight was held, and its athletic commission presided over by former heavyweight champion Jersey Joe Walcott, armed with tapes that allegedly showed 59 fouls against Laporte by Pedroza. Albert asked for and got a highly unusual reversal of the decision. Laporte was declared the winner, a decision which did not affect Pedroza's status as WBA champion. All the controversy left Eusebio Pedroza outwardly unaffected as he prepared for this fight, dismissing his critics as nothing more than crybabies.
There is an interesting saying which states that men don't cry. In the same way, professionals don't cry. This career is for men, and men don't cry.
Bernard Taylor's manager is obviously aware of Pedroza's tactics.
It doesn't make it any harder for you to prepare for a guy that fouls. It just means that you got to be in a little bit better shape so that you can continue to move out of his way and not make the mistakes the other fighters made and stand in toe-to-toe with him, because that's where he throws most of his low blows, when he's inside.
So he would do anything when he go in that ring to win. He's not going in there to show his sportsmanship. He's going in there to take the title, to hold on to his title, though. What it takes to win that title, to come out with the title, he's going to do it.
Up there in New York City, and down here in his home country, they're cranking it up for a big day. Bernard Taylor, native son, challenging for a world title against Eusebio Pedroza. We'll be back in just a moment. Place now here at the Coliseum, ready, waiting for the fighters to enter the ring. Here's an update from football scores. Arizona has defeated Notre Dame 16-13. So you've had two major upsets today, Tennessee beating Alabama, and now Arizona defeating Notre Dame. And the day isn't over. So who knows what may happen before the Western folks are through. But right now, the crowd coming to its feet here in the Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, as Bernard Taylor, the hometowner, is escorted to the ring for his first big day in his professional boxing career, as he makes his first title challenge for the WBA Featherweight Championship. Bernard Taylor, in the course of his career, had all kinds of national honors as an amateur, a four-time Golden Gloves champion, a two-time national amateur champion, 1979 World Cup champion, and the 1980 Pan American Games champion. But he, like so many others, was denied the opportunity to fight for an Olympic gold medal because of the boycott. Charlotte Mayor Eddie Knox among those, greeting him as he comes into the ring. And I would think one of the things that young Taylor must realize as he begins his title challenge today is that the man coming into the ring now, Pedroza, is a very strong finisher, but a relatively slow starter. Pedroza will go to war. He likes nothing better than to tease the opponent into a war. It is not Taylor's game. He is a mover. He is a boxer. He does not carry the power that Pedroza carries. He has 10 knockouts listed among his 18 victories, but as I said, he has never gone in the ring against a man the caliber of Eusebio Pedroza, who comes in glittering, spangles all over his robe, and they almost run together as they dance in the ring. And both of them look like all of the adrenaline glands are open. Eusebio Pedroza was shocked by the death of Salvador Sanchez because he felt there would be a reunification fight for the championship at the featherweight weight. Sanchez being the WBC title holder and Pedroza the WBA. But the untimely death of Sanchez denied him that big payday. Now, the ring announcer Harold Johnson for the introduction of the fighter.
Introducing in the blue corner, wearing black trunks with green trim, the undefeated challenger with a record of 18-0, including 10 knockouts, the third-ranked fighter in the World Boxing Association, following standing, weighing 125.5 pounds, weighing in the championship of Charlotte, North Carolina, the BC Express, Bernard Taylor! title defense, weighing in at 126 pounds, with a record of 34-3 with 23 knockouts, from Panama City, Panama, the World Boxing Association featherweight champion, Eusebio Pedroza. The referee is Stanley Christanua from South Africa. The supervisor, Tiger Klopper from South Africa. The judges are Sue Jensen of Denmark and Oscar Tennis Open from Argentina. Scheduled for 15 rounds.
And now the instructions from the referee, Stanley Christanua. This will be his third title fight for Eusebio Pedroza. And he expressed some surprise when he realized that in this country, at least, Pedroza has gained a reputation of being a brawler. And of course, most of that reputation having come from his fight against Juan Laporte, when he had beaten Laporte and gotten the decision at ringside, and later, on appeal, the New Jersey Athletic Commission under Joe Walcott reversed the decision. But most people are perfectly willing to let that stand as a decision for Pedroza, with Laporte now becoming the WBC featherweight champion after defeating Mario Miranda. That bout taking place as a result of the death of Salvador Sanchez. And now the referee summons the two fighters to the center of the ring for his instructions. Ace Miller, the manager of Bernard Taylor.
Check game. Good luck to you both. Check game. All right. Here we go, guys.
Santiago Del Rio, the manager of Pedroza. The tail of the tape, Taylor a year younger. The edge in height to the champion Pedroza. He had to dry out a little bit this morning in order to make the weight. The reach is relatively the same. It is the boxer, Taylor, against a great body puncher, Eusebio Pedroza. Scheduled for 15 rounds. You saw the champion smiling when the boos echoed down on him from the obvious pro-Taylor crowd, but he seemed loose, relaxed. Taylor did not seem very tight an hour before the fight. Laced his own shoes, listened to music, rested, and knows full well what he needs to do. Taylor is a very difficult fellow to hit. He's a constant mover. Pedroza would love to have him go flat-footed occasionally so he can work on his body. Taylor has never gone more than 10 rounds. So if he gets past 10, it'll be interesting to see what happens over the last 5. The referee will score today. 2 judges and the referee will deliver the scorecard. 10-point must-scoring system, 3 knockdown rule in effect, mandatory 8 count, no standing 8s, and no saving of the bell except obviously in the final round. Taylor circling, and this figures to be pretty much the pattern, at least for the first few rounds. In looking over the 18 fights that Bernard Taylor has had, you don't find any name opponents of any consequence. The reason for that, admitted to by Ace Miller, that during his early going, when he first turned professional, he protected him. He had some soft touches. But once Taylor emerged as a bona fide professional, then Ace Miller had trouble finding somebody to fight him. Nobody wanted him. He was too difficult to handle. Pedroza conserving energy, watching the man circle him, and so far has done nothing. To go as Taylor flicks the left, but the champion bobs away from it. Both men probing as Taylor tries to flurry in the final seconds of the first round. The first round was almost a no-hitter. Now let's see what happens here in round number 2. Taylor will be the man doing most of the moving. Pops a quick left to the forehead. Eusebio will stalk him. And you get up into 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 if it goes that far. Look out. Bernard Taylor couldn't be wetter if he had just fallen out of the shower. Pedroza completely dry. Very calm. Cristodolo says, let's have some fighting. When are you going to start fighting? He heads the South African Boxing Association. The judges are Knud Jensen from Denmark, Oscar Knappen from Argentina. The corner people are Santiago Del Rio, Henry Douglas for Pedroza, and Lionel Hoyt, Ace Miller, Jay Dudley, and Biff Holstein for Taylor. Bernard Taylor is not going to step in there and trade with Pedroza. Not going to do it. Pedroza's going to have to go after him. And he will eventually. First major move right there by the champion, but Taylor escaped. Taylor will try to pick him. Like that. Partially deflected by the champion. Part of it got there. And seconds to go in round 2. In the exchange, a left by Taylor and a right to the body.